Let's fly with Captain Tappers.
Hi guys, welcome to the pre-flight briefing. Today we are flying from London Luton to Manchester. So let's take a look at our flight plan. Our flight time today will be around 1 hour, flight level 180, 113 nautical miles. Let's check the weather at London Luton. 12 knot wind, few clouds at 2,000 feet and temperature of 9 degrees. And the weather for Manchester is a 6 knot wind, a few clouds at 3,000 feet and temperature 9 degrees, so very similar to our weather for Luton this morning. Checking out the parking chart, we will be departing from gate 60 and then taxiing back on to Bravo before moving along to Echo, turning right onto Delta and then following Foxtrot before finally turning left onto Alpha, stopping at the runway, look both ways of course, before turning around onto runway 25. And please bear with the captain while I try to work out the chart. We'll be using the only departure this morning. We need to be above 4,000 feet here, at 5,000 feet here, and 6,000 feet at Olney. And that's the pre-flight briefing complete. And without further ado, let's get onto the tarmac. And there she is, all nice and clean, ready for us to get on board. Oh, does smell nice in here too. Cleaners have done a good job.
Captain, we are ready for boarding.
Thank you, Sharon. Right, usual startup procedure. Main battery on, avionics on. Let's turn these alarm indicators off.
Hello.
We are aiming for 11 o'clock departure today.
Welcome aboard.
The main display is now active, so let's set the altimeter.
Hi.
FMC is now powered on, flight plan is all loaded. Let's make sure the cabin is pressurised correctly.
Welcome.
Pressurisation set.
Let me take that for you.
Let's set up the flight radar. As you can see, there's a fair few planes around Luton this morning. So let's double check the weather here at Luton.
Luton Airport information, Zulu 1049er, Zulu, wind 202 at 12, visibility 15, sky condition, few clouds at altitude 2000, temperature 9er, 2.7, altimeter 2962, visual runway 25 in use, landing and departing runway 25, VFR aircraft see direction of flight. All aircraft read back, hold short instructions. Advise controller on initial contact. You have Zulu. Luton.
ATC have confirmed that we are indeed using runway 25. Now let's get some lights on. I must admit, not 100% sure what order these go. Not taxi light yet, we're not taxiing, so I'm going to leave that. Put the nav light on. And let's put the tail lights on as well. Right. Let's contact ground.
Luton ground, Tappers 0015, ready to copy. IFR clearance to Manchester. Tappers 0015 is cleared at Manchester Airport as filed. Fly runway heading, climb and maintain altitude 6,000. Departure frequency is 128.75, squawk 5406.
So if you remember our SID, we need to set that to 6,000.
Tappers 0015, cleared to Manchester Airport as filed. Fly runway heading, climb and maintain altitude 6,000. Departure on 128.75, squawk 5406. Tappers 0015, correct. Contact ground on 121.75.
Whoops, nearly forgot the seatbelts.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has turned on the fasten seatbelt sign. If you haven't already done so, please stow your carry-on luggage underneath the seat in front of you or in an overhead locker. Thank you.
Taxi lights now on.
Captain, the cabin is secure. All passengers are aboard.
Thank you. So let's request taxi.
Luton ground, Tappers 0015 with information Zulu. Request taxi IFR. Tappers 0015, taxi hold point for runway 25 via taxiway Bravo Echo Delta Foxtrot Alpha. Contact tower on 132.55
I'm pretty sure that matches the chart we had earlier, so let's set the takeoff trim and acknowledge.
Taxiing full short runway 25, using taxiway Bravo Echo Delta Foxtrot Alpha, Tabbers 0015.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, Captain Tavis and crew would like to welcome you on board this Beechcraft B1900D for a flight to Manchester. Before we proceed with the safety demonstration, please ensure all portable electronic devices are in flight safe mode. The cabin crew must be informed immediately of any electronic device is damaged, hot, produces smoke, is lost or falls into the seat structure. My name is Sharon and I'm your chief flight attendant today. I'm on board for your comfort, but primarily for your safety. May I now have your attention as we demonstrate our safety procedures and equipment. The emergency exits and brace position to be adopted in the event of an emergency are shown on the safety card which is in the seat pocket in front of you. In the unlikely event of evacuation, proceed immediately to your nearest exit. The exits on board are located 2 in front of the cabin, 1 either side, and 2 over wing exits, 1 either side in the middle of the cabin. Please take a moment to locate the nearest exit, which may be behind you. If you are instructed to leave the aircraft urgently, the emergency floor guidance system will guide you to the nearest exit. You must leave all your belongings behind. The seatbelt is fastened, adjusted and unfastened like this. Your life jacket is under your seat. If required, remove the jacket from its container and pass it over your head, cross the tapes at the back and tie underneath the jacket in a double knot. Do not inflate until you are outside the aircraft. The jacket is inflated by pulling the red toggle downwards. Should it need more air, blow into this tube. It has a light and a whistle. We also carry children's flotation equipment. In preparation for takeoff, please ensure that your seat belts are fastened. Tray tables and seat backs are upright with the armrests down and hand luggage is placed under the seat in front of you. May we remind you we operate a non-smoking policy. We wish you a pleasant flight.
The engines have now stabilised. Checking the annunciator panels. All clear. Switches. Yep. All set. And now for the control check. Full left. Full right. Up, down, rudder, left, right. Control check complete. Time to go. Now we've actually left the gate a few minutes early. I'm sure the passengers won't mind. The scenery for Luton and for Manchester is provided by UK 2000. And today for the ground scenery we are using ORBX Global rather than ORBX England. Flaps now set. Now, because we're not in the same league as British Airways, as usual we've got quite a way to go from our gate to the runway. Oh well, never mind, maybe one day. You do think right now they'd be just happy for the business. We should be shortly turning right onto Delta. Surprisingly nice weather for winter time. And this should be Foxtrot. Now, remembering the airport chart we looked at earlier, I think we need to follow Foxtrot all the way down and then turn left, and that should bring us on to Alpha. I see that they're still doing the building work over there. This is going to be the last Tappers Airways flight of 2020, though by the time I've edited it, it probably will be 2021. Next year we have got 4 or 5 flights left to do of this UK tour, and then we will be done. In addition to the 5 flights, there will be one special video that will be coming up in 2021 as well, but I'm not going to spoil the surprise. You can see the markings on the taxiway warning us that the runway is ahead, so just need to reduce throttle slightly. Let's bring the plane to a stop, just about here. Let's request permission to take off from Luton Tower.
Luton Tower, Tappers 0015, ready for IFR departure, runway 25.
Tappers 0015, clear for takeoff, runway 25, service wind 202 at 12.
Taxi lights off, landing lights on, and acknowledge.
Clear for takeoff, runway 25, Tappers 0015.
Okay, it's time to go, go, go.
Tappers 0015, contact Luton departure on 128.75.
Contacting Luton departure.
Over 212.75, Tappers 0015, thanks, bye-bye. Luton departure, Tappers 0015 is climbing through 1,700 for altitude 6,000. Tappers 0015, Luton departure, roger, altimeter 2962. Tappers 0015, turn right heading 230, proceed on course, climb and maintain altitude 6,000. Turn right heading 230, resume on navigation, climb altitude 6,000. Tappers 0015.
So if you remember, the only SID was at 6,000 feet, and that's what we have been cleared to. Just passing through 2,500 feet, we departed at 11:05, and our scheduled arrival time at Manchester is midday. As the autopilot is now engaged, we will shortly be turning to the right. And even though this is a fairly short flight, passengers will be no doubt delighted to hear that there will be a beverage and meal service today, provided by the lovely Sharon. And, who knows, the captain might even be offered a beverage too. Approaching 3,500 feet. We can now raise the flaps. So we are finally beginning our turn, right through some lovely clouds. Speed about 190 knots. Coming up for 4,500 feet. And I'd say that was a pretty smooth departure.
Tapper 0015, contact Cranfield approach on 122.85. Into 122.85, Tapper 0015, goodbye.
Contacting Cranfield approach.
Cranfield approach, Tapper 0015 is climbing through 5,700 for altitude 6,000. Tapper 0015, Cranfield approach, roger, altimeter 2961.
We are now at Olney.
Tapper 0015, climb and maintained altitude 16,000. Climb and maintained altitude 16,000. Tapper 0015.
Setting the autopilot to 16,000 and increasing the climb rate to 1,400 feet per minute. We should have a bit more time in the cruise now with the increased climb rate, which will give Sharon more time to serve drinks and meals. So what I'm going to do is set this now to 18,000 because that is going to be our cruise altitude, and I'm going to set the altimeter to standard pressure 29902. Seeing that we're in a pretty quiet phase of the climb, I think now is a good time to tell you some facts about our destination today, which of course is Manchester. Manchester Airport is located 8.6 miles southwest of the city centre. It was opened in 1938 and during the Second World War was the location of RAF Ringway. After the war, the airport grew massively. It had its own railway station, which was opened in 1993. Today, the airport is the third busiest airport in the UK in terms of passenger numbers and consists of 3 passenger and 1 cargo terminal. The airport offers flights to over 199 destinations. And now for some facts about Manchester itself. The Duke of Wellington opened the world's first passenger railway in 1830. The success of the Manchester to Liverpool Railway started the railway revolution. In 1904, Charles Rolls and Henry Royce first met in Manchester's City Midland Hotel. 2 years later, the company Rolls-Royce was formed. In 1917, Ernest Rutherford changed the world when he split the atom at Manchester University, a breakthrough which resulted in the development of nuclear power. In 1948, Manchester University professors developed the first computer to have a stored program and memory. Nicknamed Baby, a replica can be seen at the Science and History Museum. Created in Granby Row in Manchester in 1908, Vimto was concocted by Noel Nichols from Blackburn. Nichols was a known wholesaler of herbs, spices and medicines. And that concludes our facts about Manchester today.
Tappers 0015. Contact London Control on 118.475. Over 2118.475. Tappers 0015. Bye-bye.
Landing lights can come off. As I've got a few minutes and there's not that much for me to do, apart from scan the instruments that is, I think now is a good time to say a very warm welcome if this is your first time flying with Tappers Airways. I do hope it's proving to be an enjoyable experience and you're not having to use the sick bag that is provided free of charge, of course. And a super special warm welcome to our Tappers Airways frequent flyers. You know who you are. I just want to say thank you so much for the support you have given me in 2020. It really has helped to keep me going through this difficult year. So let's check our arrival time, and according to this we should be arriving in about 27 minutes, 20 to 12. That is a bit earlier than planned. And one last thing before hopefully my beverage arrives, Tappers Airways has its own Instagram and Twitter account. So if you fancy seeing some behind the scenes footage, please feel free to check them out. I'll put links in the description below. Time to let the passengers loose.
Ladies and gentlemen, the seatbelt sign has been turned off. You are free to move about the cabin. However, we encourage you to remain seated with your seatbelt fastened at all times in case of unexpected turbulence. It is now safe for you to use your portable electronic devices.
Captain, can I get you a tea, coffee or a soft drink?
I would love a cup of tea, please, Sharon. Captain's happy. He's got a brew on the way.
Ladies and gentlemen, in a few moments I'll be passing through the cabin to offer you hot or cold drinks, as well as a light snack. Alcohol drinks are also available and are of course free of charge. Compliments of the captain.
Here's your tea, Captain.
Oh, thank you. And welcome back. As you join us, we have already started our descent. We started about 5 minutes ago. We did have some turbulence earlier, so I had to put the seatbelt sign back on, and it seems to have settled down now. So we are going to descend to 6,000 feet at this time, and before probably dropping down to 4,000 as we begin our approach to Manchester. Also been in contact with Manchester ATC, and they have advised me that today we will be landing on runway 23. I think they said the right one. Or was it the left? Oh dear. We'll wait and see. And the T-score today? 9 out of 10. Sharon does make a good cup of tea. She is fast too. Right, I think I'm going to increase our descent rate to 1400 feet per minute, as I want to get down to 6,000 feet nice and early. As you can see, looking out the cockpit window, weather conditions are pretty much as it was described in our pre-flight briefing. There has been some snowfall in the Manchester area, but the runway should be clear. Now we've got just over a month in Manchester, and then it's off to our next destination. And for the life of me, I can't remember where we're meant to be going after Manchester. That's the airport identifier, so the ILS frequency is tuned in. Give me a second, let's look at the Tappers Airways itinerary. I've got it here somewhere. Oh, what do you know? We're going to my local airport. That's handy. EGGW, London Gatwick. I live about 30 minutes from there. Might be able to pop home. The life of a pilot is not glamorous, trust me. So it'd be nice to have some home comforts, some proper food. I'm not inviting all the passengers back though. My place is quite small.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we start our descent, please make sure your seat backs and tray tables are in their full upright position. Make sure your seat belt is securely fastened and all carry-on luggage is stowed underneath the seat in front of you or in the overhead lockers. Thank you.
And as a sneaky preview, after Gatwick we are going to the Isle of Jersey. Descending through 10,000 feet, so landing lights can come back on, and I'll bring you back when we are closer to the airport. Welcome back. We're currently holding at 4,600 feet, just above the snowy hills. Don't want to go any lower yet. Plan to descend to 2,500 feet as we approach Manchester, and we should be turning very shortly. We've already got the ILS frequency tuned in, and we have no warnings on the annunciator panels. So far so good. Soon we'll be coming up to the part of the flight that always makes me a little bit nervous, thinking, have I forgotten to do anything? Main thing is put the landing gear down. As we now begin our turn towards the airport, I'm going to set the autopilot for 2,500, but I'm not going to engage it just yet. I just want to make sure that we're going to clear these snow-covered hills before I do. We should be down on the ground in less than 10 minutes. Right, I think we're now clear, so we can begin our descent to 2,500. Yep, it's absolutely fine. We now need to change this from GPS to VLOC, and as you can see on display, The ILS and glide slope are both active. And we can hit approach mode. Not much for me to do right at this moment, apart from keep an eye on our speed. It's a bit higher than what I would like. It's probably 25-30 knots higher, as we're still descending. It's quite difficult for me to lose the excess speed. Let's decrease the throttles and put the flaps down. 1D10. That should definitely help speed. What was I saying about good weather? Can't see the airport yet. Should be slightly to our left. Speed's coming down nicely. Just under 200 knots. I want to get it down lower than that though. Definitely approaching Manchester. You can see the built up areas. Speed's continuing to come down very slowly. Little bit of turbulence. No moaning from the passengers yet. Please, please, please let me have a decent landing. Haven't had a fantastic landing for ages. Nice, just a smoothish landing. A few wispy clouds. Happier with the speed now. We're at 2,500 feet. And I'd now expect the speed to drop off quite nicely. Flight radar is clear. And we're now on the glide slope. Right, second stage of flaps. Just see the runway. Landing gear down. 3 green.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now about to land. Please remain seated until the seatbelt sign has been turned off.
Speed under 140. Slight turbulence, as you can see, just moving us about a little bit. Decreasing throttles a little bit more. I want to be around 120 knots for landing. The runway at Manchester is pretty long, so we've got a bit of leeway. However, I'd like to get off nice and early. That way I've got a rough idea of where I'm going. Time for me to be quiet and for hopefully for you to enjoy the landing. down with a bit of a bump. Can't hear any screaming going on behind me, so that's pretty good. Gonna have to let this plane come across the runway first. He's a lot bigger than me. Flaps up. I would describe that landing as distinctly average. So I for these big planes, they can cushion the landing. These small planes, you just feel every slight bump. That's my excuse. Let alone what I'm going to be like when I fly one of those. That's a long way away. Plan is to get off the runway as soon as possible. Going to use the taxiway to the right, just up here. Then stop, get directions from ATC ground, which gate we're going to be given, and then have a look at the airport chart to see exactly how we get there. We are now clear of the runway, so let's contact ground.
Manchester ground, Tabers 0015, taxi to stand. Tabers 0015, taxi to stand 4th Street, via taxiway Foxtrot, Juliet, Bravo, Delta. Taxiing to stand 2, 4th Street, using taxiway Foxtrot, Juliet, Bravo, Delta, Tabers 0015.
Quick look at the chart. So we'll call it Foxtrot, up along Bravo, round up into Delta, and then follow it all the way round, right to the end, and there is gate 243. Right, let's go. Not quite sure how long this is going to take us.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Manchester. Please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the aircraft comes to a complete stop and the seatbelt sign is switched off. Before leaving the aircraft, please ensure you have all items of personal hand luggage, checking your seat pockets, the overhead lockers and also the area around your seat. Do take care when opening the overhead lockers as items may have moved in flight. Please continue to observe the non-smoking sign. May I remind you that within accordance to the UK law, smoking is not permitted within any public buildings. Please take care when disembarking the aircraft steps as they may be slippery and narrow than you are used to. The handrail should be used. Hand luggage held securely and any passengers with small children should hold their hand. Mobile phones and portable electronic devices may be used in aircraft mode once the doors have been opened. On behalf of Captain Tappers and myself, we hope you have enjoyed your flight with us today, and we look forward to welcoming you on board Tappers Airways again soon.
Well, that was a bit of a nightmare. I spent 6 minutes holding. Guess it was that plane that was in front of us, so I thought I'd cut that bit out of the video. Not very interesting, me just sitting here on the tarmac. Now I knew this airport was big, but I didn't quite realise how big. It's definitely the biggest airport I've flown into. Lord knows what Gatwick's going to be like. This does indeed look like gate 243. Stop the plane. Set the parking brake. Engines off. Seatbelt sign off. Leader off. Nav light off. Taxi light off.
Goodbye. Thank you.
Let's reset the pressurization.
Have a nice trip.
And we can turn the FMC off.
Thanks a lot.
Just going to turn on the external power for a while. Cleaners will be coming in shortly. Main generators off. Avionics off.
Captain, all passengers have left the plane.
Great. Grab your suitcase. I'll buy you a coffee. Batteries off. Thanks again, guys, for joining us for today's flight to Manchester. On behalf of myself, Captain Tappers, and Sharon, we would both like to wish you a very happy 2021. And I really hope you can join us for our next flight. Stay safe and do take care.